All right, so continuing on with our work involving statistics, we are now going to look at comparing data displayed in box plots. And our essential question is, how do we compare two sets of data? So we're going to be analyzing data, comparing it between two box plots. We have one vocab term, which is a very important one, and that is the interquartile range. And that is the difference between the upper and lower quartiles in a box plot. And that interquartile range is really a core piece of information that we can use to make conclusions about the data set. In a box plot, not all the values are shown, so box plots really only show you 5 key values, and those are the least and greatest values, or the minimum and the maximum, and the upper and lower quartiles, as well as the median. And as we reviewed in class, the lower quartile is the median of the lower half of the data, where the upper quartile is the median of the upper half of the data. And the median is the median of the whole set of data. So our first example is looking at box plots that have similar variability or are very similar in the way that they look and the way that they appear. So let's look at this very first example. So when we compare these, we can see that the centers or the medians and the spreads are very similar. So we look at like the boxes, we notice that the boxes are very similar, and we notice that the whiskers or the lines out here are also very similar. So these two box plots show the distribution of time spent shopping by two different groups. So we have Group A and Group B. So the first thing that we want to look at is just comparing the medians. So for Group A, we can see that the median for Group A is right here. This is the median. And when we look at this line right here, I see that it kind of falls between 45 and 50. So I would have to say that between 45 and 50, the median is 47.5. And then for Group B, the median is right here, and that's nice and easy to tell. The median is 40. So we can see that Group A has a greater median than Group B. And now we're going to look at the interquartile range, and that's essentially just the size of the box. So that's the range from one edge of the box to the other. So for Group A, the range is from 30 to 60. So it has a range of 30 minutes. And then we have for Group B, I would say that would be approximately 31, I'll say. 31. And the upper quartile here, I would say, is 59. So from 31 to 59, the interquartile range here is 28 minutes. Now we're going to look at two box plots where they have much different variability, or essentially they look very different. So when we analyze that data, there's just a lot of differences in the data, in the way that it's constructed. So here we have the distribution of the number of team wristbands sold daily by different stores over the same time period. So for store A, we can see that the median here, or the middle number in the set of data, is, I would say, 42.5. It's right in the middle between 40 and 45. So store A, the median is 42.5, and we can see here in store B that the median would be 51. just mark B. For store B, 51. So the median is greater in store B than it is with store A. But now when we look at the interquartile range, the interquartile range is actually different. It's actually much larger for store A than it is for store B. We can just see that by looking that the blue box is much larger than the green box. So for store A, it is from 30, oops, to 55. So that is a range of 25 wristbands in this case. So 25 wristbands. And then for store B, the interquartile range here is from, I would say, looking right here, maybe 48. Looks like a little more than half, or halfway between 45 and 50. And then here at 65. So from 48 to 65 would be 17. So we have an interquartile range with store A being 25 wristbands and store B being 17. So again, the median is greater with store B, but the interquartile range is greater with store A. Now what I'd like you to do is complete this one your turn question for tomorrow. And as always, if you have any questions, we will address them tomorrow in class.